Hey guys, how you doing? Um, I gotta hurry up and kind of put this video up. Situation's fresh in my mind. I just got done sending a formal complaint about the situation I experienced. Um, so I'll get right into it. Step-by-step process. My fiance received a stimulus. Unfortunately, at this time, she does not have a bank account, and so I'm sure most people are familiar with the third-party check cashing process. Typically, I'll explain it really quickly. From more of a customer's perspective, I don't know about banks. I never worked at a bank. I have that experience. But you come with a check signed by the person that the check's written out to. The bank account holder actually signs under it. We call that verbatim signing the check over to me, right? And then I essentially go to cash the check. Either mostly you want to deposit the check, give the bank time to make sure that the funds were there at that bank and there's no issues, and then you're able to do what you have to do with the money. Correct? Correct. I've had no issues with regards to this process at any of the banks I've ever dealt with in my 30 years on earth. So today was memorable. Today was a problem. And I definitely made sure I collected names. So my fiance receives a stimulus. She does not have her own bank account. I've had a good standing relationship and tenure with Hancock Whitney Bank for 3 years. And I have my business account bank that I work with that treated me very well. But I do everything personally through Hancock Whitney. I have a local branch 5 minutes down the road from my house. So we go there. Well, first I tried to go there myself with a check, her signature. It's written out to her, so it's her signature signed over to me. And then I have all my information, of course, when I go up to the front desk, my ID, my bank account card, and stuff like that. I'm told, mind you, these are new people working at this bank. I'm used to seeing certain faces. These are new people, and this will come up later why I'm mentioning that. So I walk up, young lady tells me her name is Stacy. She has to be here. I said, huh? She has to be here in order for us to do anything with this. Deposit cash. I said, that's different. But okay, I didn't push that situation. We went back. I got her. So at this point in time, we're returning to the bank. It's me with my ID, my bank account card. It's her with her ID, and we also have the check that has her name. It's written out to her, has her signature, and then my signature, saying that she signed it over to me. We go to the front desk. The young lady takes the information. She turns around. She looks for approval from the teller behind her. The teller behind her looks up. There's three tellers behind the desk, and there's two people sitting down. I don't know what their positions are called. Like I said, I've never worked the bank experience as far as working at a bank. Uh, she gets approval from the young lady behind her who was running drive-through. That lady, these two ladies are new. I knew the third teller at the front. That lady goes, I don't know. She calls this lady named Joyce from the chair sitting behind us, and Joyce walks up. And the first thing we stated was, and we filled out, we want to deposit half and cash half of the check. I'm not going to go into details about the amount of the check, but we want to deposit half and cash half. The young lady turned around and went back to speaking between the three individuals. It was three layers of approval. She wasn't sure. She went to the lady behind her who wasn't sure. Now they have this last lady making a judgment call. She comes to us and says, you have to deposit this whole amount and then you can cash from your bank account. I stopped there. My question is, what's going on? Was actually my verbiage. What's going on? Why is this becoming so difficult? Why? I have fraud training from my days at Walmart when I worked at Walmart. So I understand certain things we have to do when we believe someone's getting scammed or we believe we're getting frauded. But you have the two individuals that are involved with regards to it's my bank account, it's her check, her signature, my ID, her ID. What is the issue at this point? Why are we making this more difficult? And I get an answer. I get an answer by pushing it. So I had to fill out a deposit slip, deposit into my account. I filled out one. Stacy gave me one. I filled it out for the depositing and the cashing half. She turns around, talks to them, turns around, says, "We can't do that. We have to put all the money into the bank account and then try to get the money out." So that one's ripped up. She gives me another deposit slip. I do a deposit slip for the whole amount into my bank account, right? That happens. She gives me a check. It's like a cashier's check. She said, now write yourself out a check from your own bank account for the amount you want to get out. Never had to do that before. And I'm looking like, what is this process? What are y'all doing? What is this standard of service I'm receiving? Is this Hancock Whitney 5-star status treatment that I'm getting? Because I'm stopping in. I chose Hancock Whitney, but I could have went to my other bank that I had my business account at, where it's smaller, it's more local. Would they have treated me differently? Because they understand, I guess, my worth. They have access to my business account. They see what I've been doing, the work I've been putting in. Anyway, I digress. Stacy, I get her name. I finally get the money. Finally get that set up at the teller desk. I turn around and say, "Excuse me, can you explain to me why I received the standard of service?" This is Joyce, and verbatim, she tells me, "Stimulus checks are a little bit more difficult than regular checks. Doesn't know you, mind you. I mentioned they are new to this bank. I'm missing the two people I've always seen up there. So her answer to me for the standard of service I received that I believe was deplorable was the teller doesn't know me, she doesn't know me. So they have discretion to add certain safeguards, extra steps in place for the third party check testing process. She attempted to state at the beginning of our conversation, after I asked her why did I receive this standard of service, she told me we normally don't check cash service. We don't do that. We don't do third party check cashing. I said, excuse me? I know banks do this. I've seen banks do this. I've done this multiple times before. Are you lying to me? Can I receive some paperwork explaining the third party check casting process? She told me there's no paperwork. It's not really allowed. They can tell me they're not going to help me. Stimulus is more difficult because it's a government check. She said that we could be audited 10 years down the line. So she's trying to be careful. Then she states at the end of it, because I wanted a direct answer. She says, we don't know you. We're looking at the tenure of your service and your bank account. I had X amount of dollars. Not gonna get into details, but I had near 2 grand, you know what I'm saying, in the bank account. So if I'm bringing you a check, I thought the whole thing was, how's he stand in the bank account? Is he red? Is he green? And he's been with us for 3, 4 years. We see steady flow, steady fluctuations in his bank account. Why was I put through this? Why were we put through this? Mind you, another point, we're interracial couple. I'm a minority, 4 different races mixed. She's Caucasian. We're standing here presenting ourselves as a couple to get something done, and now we're receiving this treatment. And the explanation from Joyce, who works at the bank, was we're looking at your tenure with the Hancock Whitney, and we're looking at your account, and we've decided to give you 2 extra steps in order to go through the third party check cashing process. I told her this has never happened to me before. I know I'm being treated differently. I know this is something different, and I've went through 2 stimulus check processes. So I don't believe you're correct. I believe this is wrong. I got the teller's name, which was Stacy, and I got her name, which was Joyce. And I filed my complaint, and now I'm putting the video up so you guys understand something. I'm not going to look for situations or cause fluctuations in the steady flow of life. But if I'm treated differently, if I feel like something's wrong, I'm going to do what I can to shut it down. I'm going to quell the fire. I'm going to do what I can to put it out. And please, please, please find it in yourself to support, reach out. I'm going to keep doing videos as long as there's content to post about. And I'm going to keep it moving. Thanks for I see one person's been in here. Thank you for giving me an ear. And please feel free to comment or message or subscribe or like this, and maybe let me know what you think and what your experience has been. All right? K Rome out.